Hello, everybody. My name is Jiří Změlík, and I work in sales in the Czech-based company Monet Plus from the Czech Republic. First of all, I'd like to say, to introduce the company a little bit. So, Monet Plus has nearly 30 years of experience in securing digital identities as well as electronic payments. And one of the products we have is called ProID, and ProID is a platform, a solution for securing digital identities focused on enterprises. The whole platform could be divided into two ways it is focusing to. First of them is securing the identities of the workforce, so of the employees in the company. In here, we provide them different kinds of multi-factor authentication tools, as well as solutions for electronic signing, electronic sealing, and timestamping. The other part is able to secure the identities of the technological units that are connected to the network within the company. But today, as I said, we'll be focusing towards the workforce ID. Maybe I also wanted to say that the ProID platform has been on the market up and running for more than 15 years. And on a daily basis, it is being used by just over 150,000 daily users. I was mentioning the 4 multi-factor authentication methods. So here I would like to just briefly introduce all of them. So first of them is a smart card, something that probably most of you is somehow familiar with. Then we have a solution for authentication with the use of a USB hardware token in combination with a special mobile app. We call it the Bitron. Then we also have the chance to virtualize the smart card and securely save it within the TPM chip of the laptop. And the last one, the one that we'll be talking about today, is the smartphone authentication app, which we call ProID Mobile. So, in a nutshell, what it is a method, a tool that will help to secure the identities of the workforce by providing them multi-factor authentication with the use of their smartphones. The people, the employees, will be able to log into various systems, different kinds of applications, and they will also be able to perform electronic signatures. All this is done wherever possible in so-called passwordless way, so the user is not forced or there's no password needed to be typed in, not even a PIN number. So we believe that from my point of view over here, if ProID Mobile is enrolled within any kind of organization, first of all, it will fulfill some, let's say, cybersecurity needs, some cybersecurity requirements. But at the same time, the end users who will be using this tool, maybe it'll be the first time they'll be sort of like happy by having another authentication method or whatever improvement in the cybersecurity, because this time they will be not forced to prolong their passwords or change them regularly, but by simply integrating a lot of daily use cases, they'll be able to just authenticate themselves in a secure way just by simply using the biometrics in the phone. When speaking about security, we do take it seriously, and so an interesting fact is that the ProID app is already also equipped with an extra security layer. It is a product that is called TalSec, and the product is basically constantly monitoring the behavior of the application and the phone and you will definitely learn more about TALSTAC later on in some of our upcoming presentation. The solution, ProID Mobile, can be deployed as a service, so based on some monthly subscription fees that mainly, let's say, depend on the use cases and the total amount of users. But if for some reason this would be required or preferred to be installed on-premise within the customer's environment, we can also do so. So we believe this could also be one of the advantages of the solutions. Last but not least, this complete solution is 100% designed and developed within our company, within Monet Plus. So we are in full control, full charge of the whole platform. We, of course, keep developing it on a regular basis. We as well listen to the feedback from our customers, and if it makes sense, we can easily edit it into the roadmap. So yes, this platform is being constantly developed. The application can be used on both Android and iOS phones. And the way it is processing the authentication requests could be done in 3 different ways. First of them, and I believe the most preferred option, will be a push notification, a mobile token that is sent to the phone every time there is some kind of a request coming. So the user just has to open the push notification and perform the authentication. In this case, the prerequisite is that the mobile phone has to be online. The computer or the workstation where the person is logging into can be offline because the communication is happening through Bluetooth Low Energy. The second option is a one-time password that could be generated within the application, and the user can log into those systems and applications afterwards by just using the code. The last option is an SMS message that could be sent to the phone, and I believe this could eventually be in use in case the user is in need of the mobile authentication method, but he doesn't have the smartphone, so he could use the benefit of the SMS message. The last 2 options are also working when the phone is offline. Over here, I would like to show you, because I was mentioning that the user could benefit from logging into different kinds of applications and systems. So over here, we can see what everything the app can be used for. So first of all, it is logging into operation system. Whether it's Microsoft Windows, Mac OS, or Linux, you can safely and securely, at the beginning of the workday, logging into your computer just like that. As well, if this is set up, we could use a single sign-on that afterwards, after this logging, the user will be also logged into selected applications. The next thing is also very important, is logging into different kinds of VPNs. Today, it is normal to work from home, or people are working while being on business trips, and it is necessary for them to log in safely and securely to VPN. So you can just see a selection of a few that we're able to integrate, and you could use this on a regular basis. Then there are numerous of third-party applications that each of us is used to use on a regular basis again, whether it would be some CRM systems or anything from the Atlassian family, or Microsoft 365, you name it. Like, all these applications could be also integrated within the app. So again, every time you use it, you will perform the multi-factor authentication passwordless without the need, without the use of the biometrics. Then also, it might happen that within your company, you are using your own application that you have developed yourself, or somebody has custom developed it for you. or multiple applications, of course. And as long as these are supporting the authentication protocols, we can also integrate it and add it into the portfolio of the use cases. Then we have a separate group of admin applications. So again, you can see Checkpoint, Fortinet, and some other ones, which can also be added, and mainly with via the Radius protocol, this can also be integrated in the application. Already you can see there's a quite a big volume of possible applications that the users can benefit from. And we have one last, and that's the electronic signature. So imagine you can sign different kind of documents, or let's say PDF documents, on the go, even without the need of being present at your workstation, just with the use of the smartphone, or let's say tablet as well. So we believe this could be a great benefit to this already wide portfolio of services, and it is something that we all will be used to do it more and more in the upcoming future. I'm sure you're also interested into the whole flow of the process. So we have prepared two slides that will show you how does it actually work. So first of those is a secure logging into an application. Here I have chosen the logging into Microsoft Windows, so something we all can get familiar with. So first of all, I run the computer and I see the login screen where I will choose to log in with the use of a mobile method. Once I do it, I will receive in a while, or in a short while, a request to authenticate. So once I do it, the phone will connect with the computer via Bluetooth Low Energy, and once this is paired, I will receive the official notification to be authorized. Here you can see it asks me to perform the authentication for logging into Windows. So if I click approve, I can either use the biometrics of the phone to do it, or of course there's also a 6-digit PIN in the background that I can also use as a backup option, but I'm sure that most of the users would prefer the first option of the biometrics. Okay, so now once this is done and approved, I'm successfully logged into the Windows. Second thing is the electronic signature. So imagining I'm in need of signing some kind of PDF document, all I need to do is to log into some ProID portal where I will just easily drag and drop the file I need to sign in. And once this is done, again, I receive a push notification on my phone asking me for authentication of myself in order to electronically sign a document. So again, same story as last time. I see the notification and I approve it. Again, very likely use the Face ID or fingerprint to authenticate. And what happens in 2 seconds, I receive the signed document. I can see the signature. The same thing can also be done completely just on the phone. So I can access the portal on the phone and then choose the document and perform the signature. And I don't need to sit in front of my computer in my office. There's also a great a feature that we have in the case, of course, if this is required by a customer, that gets activated in the event of some internet connection breach. So if this happens for some reason, and because our solution is in the cloud, we can install within the on-premise environment of the customer something we call fallback TOTP module, that in this case there will be no internet whatsoever. The admins of the company, when they will be using their admin applications or, for example, VPNs, they can still perform the multi-factor authentication, but this time it will be communicating directly with the fallback TOTP module that's installed within their premises. This brings me to summarizing the key features of the solution. So I think the word security has already been said a few times, but I would like to point out just some of the, or highlight the best features we have. So first of all the keys and certificates are securely stored in a hardware security module. I was also mentioning the TALSEC product that is monitoring constantly the state of the application and the phone. And another great thing is that the password that the user is using, so let's say the 6-digit PIN that has to be input at the very beginning of the use of the app, is not stored on any backend systems of the customer's premises. So the secret is stored in some secure element inside of the smartphone. And the last thing, from the security point of view, I would say that we do support the best technologies available. First of them is PKI, so public key infrastructure, so based on different kinds of certification authorities that are issuing certificates. And then authentication protocols, especially OIDC, SAML 2.0, or OAuth 2, as well as the Radius protocol. From flexibility point of view, I'd like to highlight the fallback option that I was explaining just before. Also, our solution is completely white label ready, which might be quite handy to some of the larger customers in case they would like to use it in their graphics and so on. And then also the possibility of the installation of the whole platform, which, let's say, usually we deploy it as a service, but we can also install it within the customer's premises. And last but not least, if ProID Mobile is something that is not sufficient at some stage, and the company would like to benefit from some other solutions, we have 3 more to choose from. They can be combined, and for example, each of the users can use multiple authentication tools. So, for example, I'm used to use on a daily basis my smart card as well as the smartphone. Last part is the business part. So we are supporting your custom-made applications, which could be easily integrated within the portfolio of the authentication methods, as well as the remote electronic signature. I would say is something that standing out among the other competition. And then from this most complex slide, where you could see all the use cases and applications you can use it for, I think it's great that for everything, just one simple application can be used. You could easily probably see how many times in a typical daily routine this employee would probably use the application. And it's great if you don't have to combine any other tools, you don't have to remember any passwords, and just do everything very seamlessly just using the biometrics. Last to mention is our 24/7 support of the whole platform. So the availability of the solution is very reliable, but I would say this is something that's completely a standard for us. Also, I wanted to point out some selection of the key verticals for us. So our ProID platform, I said, is being used by over 150,000 users on a daily basis. Mainly, we would be targeting the healthcare, so hospitals and different kinds of pharmaceutical organizations. We're also very strong in the fintech and telco industry. In the government, we're used to work with different kinds of ministries, or just securing municipalities or regional authorities. Also, critical infrastructure is a very important vertical for us. For example, as I was mentioning, the on-premise installation, it is something that in many cases is mandatory required by those kinds of organizations. And the manufacturer, so let's say the automotive and automation industry, as well as the army and space and so on, is something that is definitely up and on the rise from the perspective of realizing of the need of implementing such security solutions. So this is also an important vertical for us. What do we do if someone is interested in a proof of concept or just wants to try out our solution? What we do, or all we need to do, is to basically gather your needs, your requirements, what would you like to use it for, and after that we can prepare the demo, and after a short discussion with you, we can go straight to the proof of concept. We're also very happy to find some new business partners in order to help us to expand our distribution channels outside of Czech Republic and Slovakia. So if anyone is interested by our solution, and doesn't matter if it's a distributor or an IT integrator, please feel free to reach to us, and we'll be very happy to discuss a potential business opportunity. So at this moment, that's everything from me. Thanks very much to everyone for attention, and see you some other time.
Thank you, Jiří, for an excellent presentation. Now I will pick a few questions from the chat. And the first one is, how could we start using the product? Is it possible to prove POC in your environment?
Of course, it is something that I have already mentioned. What we need to know is exactly the specification of all the use cases. Let's say this could be a matter of a few days just to clear everything out, and let's say once this is done, we can run the POC for some selected group of users within your company, and let's say after some time, if everybody's happy or would like to change something, we can either do it or just roll out this solution for the rest of the users in the organization.
Okay, thank you for the answer. And I think we will be able to answer all of the questions. So the second question is, you mentioned that you support MFA in your custom application. How do you do that? And are you using any authentication protocol?
Yes, we are using authentication protocols. It is OpenID Connect, as it SAML 2 and OAuth 2.0. as well as the Radius protocol. So as long as your custom application is able to support any of the mentioned protocols, it shouldn't be an issue for us at all to integrate this and add it within the portfolio of what you need for the proof of concept.
Okay, and let's answer the last question. Which option do you recommend using, mobile token or OTP?
I think the answer is pretty easy. I definitely would recommend to use the mobile token. It is something that is very convenient, requires the least effort from the side of the user, and it's just simply very, very convenient. But I also understand a different point of view when, for example, people will need the one-time password due to some, let's say, unavailability of the internet connection. So in this case, I'm sure it does make sense for some of the customers. But if we are not sure what would be the best for the customer, and if we may prefer, let's say, both of the options, like it could always be enabled that either all of the users or just some of the users are allowed to use both the mobile token as well as the OTP.
Okay, thank you very much once again, Jiří.
ProID. Really strong protection for company data.